Yeah, it was just I needed to click a box just now.
Okay, you should be good to go.
Okay. All right. So good morning, everybody. Here we are on a snow day. And I'm coming to you live from WJLTV in Claymont, Delaware. So I'm Jessica Lewis, and I am accredited in Tai Chi, which is a style of Tai Chi, really amazing style of Tai Chi. And I'm very grateful to be able to teach this week after week for the Cancer Support Community here in Delaware. Tai Chi, among other things, has been proven to be a very effective, drug-free, evidence-based, you could call it even a treatment option for people that are dealing with cancer, but it's got the longest laundry list of things it's good for. It, I would sound like a snake oil salesman if I went through it all. So today, what we're going to do is just, get right into it. I'm going to assume that a lot of you are already semi-familiar with the practice because I know a lot of you tune in week after week after week. And you know what? Let's just go through the whole thing. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to switch my camera and go towards the back of the room. There we go. And I'm going to just click off my noise canceling software for a moment so that you can hear my singing bowl, because I'm going to use that for just a moment while we do just a little sort of mindfulness experience right from the get-go so that you can begin to get really tuned into your body. So if you have a chair handy, go ahead and sit down on it. And if you don't, that's okay too. Just really see if you can find a way to relax in your body, even if you're standing. Just sort of allow yourself to feel all the feelings. And if you're seated, I want you to scooch a little bit forward in your chair so that you're in charge of your own spine rather than slumping back against the chair, okay? I want you to see if you can find the sweet spot where your upper body almost feels like it's just sort of sitting on top of the bowl that is your pelvis. And as you sit here in the chair, perhaps you might begin to feel sort of a lighter sense about your upper body. And you might be able to help that by just sort of imagining your head has somehow magically become sort of a half-empty helium balloon. And rather than floating up into the stratosphere endlessly, just let it sort of hover there. And see if you can let your spine just kind of hang down from the balloon. See if that helps your whole upper body feel lighter. And then let's each of us focus our attention as best we can on some aspect of our inner landscape. Some place inside your body you'd never think about except for the fact that I'm asking you to think about it. It's probably best if you pick a spot anywhere at or beneath belly button level. And take a deep breath and let it out. And if you're sitting down or even if you're standing, if you feel comfortable and safe doing so, you can even go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to begin all this by me calling the bell, and that's a fancy Buddhist way of saying I'm going to ring it. So let's go ahead with that. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the rest of us. And of course, open your eyes if they have been closed. I'm going to very quickly just flip my noise canceling software back on again. Okay. I think it's probably best if I do a couple of the moves seated today, in case any of you have some movement limitations when you're in a standing position, and then I'll switch to standing, and that way you'll know how to do the practice seated if that's what you prefer to do, or if you'd like to stand, you can stand with me. Okay, so let's just start by feeling the body at rest here in the chair, and again, you're just sort of feeling your whole upper body and just sort of sitting on top of the pelvic bowl here. Here's the good old pelvis. Right? And when you're standing, it's sort of in this position, right? But when you're seated, it goes like that. And you can very clearly see it's a bowl, right? And your whole upper body is just sitting on top of that bowl. So just feel your weight very evenly distributed across your entire butt right now. If your knees aren't already sort of kind of in front of your hips, go ahead and do that, and let your feet just sort of be directly beneath your knees, and just place your hands on your legs. And just feel your body sitting in the chair in neutral. And let's go ahead and do the very first movement, rocking motion. We're just going to let the weight drift and shift towards the rear of your butt. And the whole upper body just kind of goes along with like a column, and you probably felt the space in your belly kind of shrink a little bit when you did that. Now just let the weight drift and shift towards the front of your butt, and the whole upper body just kind of went with it as one. And I don't know about you, but I felt the space in my belly kind of expand right there. I also felt the curve in my low back get a little curvier. Let's just feel that motion. It's very subtle but very noticeable once you look at it. You really can't unsee it. And for all the forward-backward moves in a chair, this is primarily what's going to be going on. You want to let the weight shift as smoothly and continuously and even circuitously as possible. Right. We always say the best way to do Tai Chi Cha is to flow with softness and continuity while really paying attention to the soles of the feet. But when you're in the chair, your sit bones are sort of like the soles of your feet. They're like the feet of your upper body. So we're just feeling the weight shift from sort of the back of the curvy sit bones up to the front. Or if you want, you can just feel the weight shift towards the back of your butt and up towards the front. Let's go ahead and shift back, and we're just going to let the arms hang down where gravity wants to put them, palms facing out. And as you drift forward, the hands are just going to drift forward too. As you drift back, the hands are going to drift back. And we're just going to let the hands keep moving continuously. When they're done moving forward, they just turn over and move back. When they're done moving back, they just turn over and move forward. But what we're really doing is letting the weight shift move your arms around. Feel the shift in your seat. And let that dictate what's going on in your hands. You don't even have to lift your arms. They're just going to come along for the ride, right? Yeah. We usually only do 9 of these, but we're going to pretend this next one coming up is 9. We're going to call it 9. And as you flow backwards, you're just going to let your hands rest. Just feel your body at rest. And by the way, a lot of people report when they're doing Tai Chi Cha in a chair, especially rocking motion, they fall into a rhythmic breathing pattern, kind of in sync with their movements. If that happens to you, that's fine, but you don't have to do it that way. The best way to breathe in Tai Chi Cha is just to breathe. Let's do another movement in which one foot is farther out than the other. There's a lot of forward and back movements in Tai Chi Cha where one foot is much further out than the other. And then we'll do one movement in which we're turning from side to side. And then after that, I'll switch to standing. Okay, so let's do around the platter. That's definitely a forward back movement where one foot is farther out than the other. And for now, when you're in your chair, I just want you to move your left foot like maybe an inch or two further out. It's mostly a metaphor so that you know when you're standing which foot goes out there. All right. Now I want you to pretend you have a round platter about the height of your heart. Right. Just put your hands near the back of it. And as your weight shifts forward towards the front of your butt, your hands are going to go out over whichever leg is further out. In this case, it's your left. And as you shift back, they're going to come back to where they started over the right leg. Nice. And again, you're letting the weight shift push and pull your hands for you. Because remember, our goal is to move as softly and continuously as we can. That means I don't want you to use effort. I want you to really pay attention to the weight shift in your bottom and let what's going on in the pelvis push and pull your hands around. Let's do two more. And let's call this 9. It might not be. I might have counted wrong. And we're going to rest. Feel your body at rest. And let's do the other side. I'm going to place the right foot ever so slightly out there, hands near the back of the platter. Here we go. Feel your pelvis spilling forward here and tipping back up. Letting it push and pull the hands around for you. Let's do 2 more. And here's our last one. I'm just going to flow back to rest here. Feel your body resting. And let's do carry the ball to the side. That's a terrific side-to-side movement. The principles of movement are just the same as they were when you were going forward and back. Only in this case, you're going to let sort of like what I like to call the balloon string part of your body rotate from side to side. I want you to keep your eyes on me, though. So in this case, the balloon's going to stay facing forward, but the string of the balloon is going to rotate like a column from side to side. And let's just practice that weight shift first, okay? Or that rotation first. So let this portion of the body turn to your right. I'm mirroring you now, by the way. Turn to your right. And then let it turn to your left. In some ways, it's sort of like you're squirming in your chair a little bit. in a very soft and smooth and slow way, right? And you're going to know if you're doing what I'm asking you to do because you're going to feel a subtle weight shift from one sit bone to the other. And although they're both staying on the chair, what you're also going to notice is when you turn to the right, your left knee, left hand, and left shoulder are going to slide forward. And when you turn to the left, your right knee, right hand, and right shoulder are going to slide forward because that way you'll know this part of your body is really turning. Let's just turn to the right one more time. And there's sort of a hole here where your right shoulder used to be. So you're going to put your hands there like you're holding a ball or maybe a bubble. You don't want to squeeze it. That'll pop it. And you don't want to let your hands get too far apart or you'll drop it. So you're going to hold a bubble right there. And then just let your elbows lengthen and then let that part of your body turn to the left and then just bend your elbows. Here we are. And normally we do 3 sets of 3 with carry the ball to the side. But we're going to do 9 rotations here because I want you to get a really good muscle memory for this move. Although you don't need to use muscles to do it, right? You're just letting that midsection of your body turn from side to side. And let it carry your arms along for the ride. Or really your hands. Your arms will definitely come along for the ride too. We're going to do 2 more. And on the 9th one, when you come up to the middle, you're just going to float back down to rest. That's it. Just feel your body resting. So when we come back to do the other side, we're going to start on your left, and we'll do 3 sets of 3 rotations this time. That's sort of the traditional way to do. Carry the ball to the side. Okay, so here we go. We're going to let the midsection of your body turn to the left. Hold that little bubble right there, and here we go. Here's 1 rotation. 2. On the 3rd one, you're just going to rest. And we begin again. Good. Just relax every part of your body that you can, including your mind. And we always say the best way to do Tai Chi Cha is with the effort of no effort. So even thinking about whether you're getting it right or thinking about the moves too much is definitely effort. You don't need to. And feel your body at rest. So that's great. That's how we do the forward, back, and side-to-side moves in the chair. I'm going to stand up and do probably the rest of the practice standing. In the essence of time, I'll probably cut some of the moves down from 9 repetitions to 6, so we can fit the whole thing in. And when I'm facing you, I'm going to mirror you, but when I turn sideways, I'm not. So here we go. Oh, by the way, if you're standing with me now, we do have sort of a rest position, very similar to what we were doing in the chair a few moments ago. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it before we do anything else. You might be able to see that my feet are sort of in a V shape. So just find a V shape that's comfortable for you. Any position in which your heels are hopefully a little closer than your toes. I'm going to show you from the side now. Now, this is the way I just sort of normally stand around, but when we're doing Tai Chi Cha, you let your tailbone kind of tuck under a little bit. And the reason why that's important is when you allow that tailbone to tuck ever so slightly, suddenly you're able to feel the weight in both of your feet more completely than at any other time during your waking life. So I really want you to feel the entirety of each of your 2 feet pressing down into the ground, just like I was really calling your attention to the sensations in your butt as you were sitting in the chair. And while you're doing that, all you do is lift the fingers, and suddenly the palms are resting in exactly the same place they were when they were laying on your legs, pretty much. So let's just feel the body resting here for a moment. Now I'm going to turn semi-sideways to you, so I'm not going to mirror. Let's do bird flaps its wings. We're going to put the hands very close together, sort of halfway between the belly button and the groin. We're just going to let the weight sink down and towards the front of your feet, into the balls and toes. Don't worry about your heels. They'll come off the ground by themselves. And don't worry about your knees. They'll bend by themselves. So here we go. Just let your little bird wings flip right out there. Come right back to where you started. Now this time when the bird wings flap out there, we're going to draw a little circle in the air. And we're going to come back to rest. That was 1 set of 3. We're going to do 2 more sets just like that. 2 flips in a circle. Nice. And 1 more set. Maybe feeling some sensation building up between your hands as you come back. It's different to different people. And right here, we're going to rest again. Feel your body at rest. Good. Let's do a round the platter variation, and I'll mirror you again. So in order to get one foot much farther out than the other, all you do is let as much of your weight as possible drop down into your right leg. And I want you to feel it really feeling full, and I want your knee to bend a little bit. And once that happens, all you got to do is lengthen the empty knee, which in this case is your left. So here it goes. This foot goes straight out. Your right foot is still off to an angle. And remember, our hands are right here at the back of the platter. Let's just do 2 around the platters, then we'll add the variation. So here we go. We're just letting the weight shift all the way into the front foot and all the way back into the back one again. Good. Now we're going to add the variation. Just lift the fingers as if you've got a bubble between your hands again. And just show it to the front of the plate. And it will drop off by itself. Nice. Let's do 1 more. This will be 6. And right here, we're going to rest. We just stood up on that back leg, and everything kind of flowed back to rest. I'm going to show you from the side now. So here we are resting. Feel all the weight drop down into your left leg, and then when your right leg is really empty, just extend that empty knee, and the heel will drop down wherever it wants to drop based on the length of your leg and how far down you sank. Here are our hands at the back of the platter again. Let's add that variation right off the bat here. Just feel your whole upper body shifting forward the same way it did in the chair a moment ago, only a little further now, because your right foot is further out there than it was when you were in the chair. Nice. Let's do 1 more. And right here, we're going to rest. Nice. Let's do bass drum. We're going to let all the weight flow into the right foot now, the right leg, and just extend your empty left knee. And the hands are going to come up here about the height of your chest and about shoulder width apart, about a foot apart. And you're just going to let your fingers sort of run around that smooth steel rim on the outside of a high school marching band bass drum here as you flow forward and back. Nice. And you can probably see how my rear heel actually leaves the ground there. And then the front toe. Let's do one more on this side. Now let's look at the heel and the toe leaving the ground with the right foot out now. So right now I want you to feel how all of your weight, or at least as much as possible, is in your rear leg, and that's why your right leg is totally empty and the heel and the toe is up. And we're just going to flow forward till the rear leg is so empty. Let's feel that rear knee extend. And then you're just going to go like 1/4 inch further with the center of your body, and that pulls the heel off the ground for you. Just feel the legs emptying utterly. And that's what pulls the toes or the heels off the ground. One more here. Oh, nice. Let's do daughter on the mountaintop. So we're going to start with all of the weight in the right leg. We're going to extend the left. Just turn the palms over. So as you flow forward, the hands come up almost like they're going to clap. But at the very last moment, the left palm moves a little bit back and the right one moves a little forward. And they miss each other at the top. Nice. That's it. One more. Let's do that same move with me facing you. So I'm going to mirror you again. I'm going to let all the weight flow into the left leg now so the right leg can extend. Palms turn over. Again, as you flow forward, the hands come up like they're going to clap, but at the very last moment, they don't. And they just fall in the same position they would have been if they had clapped at the top. At the bottom, you get so relaxed. Just feel this. You get so relaxed, they just open by themselves. It's like you're drawing two overlapping circles here. I might have miscounted, and we're going to call this next one 6. That's it. And now we're going to do a move that's super complementary to the one we just did, Daughter in the Valley. So we're going to start with all the weight flowing down into your right leg and just let your empty left knee extend. The hands are going to come here. They're really the same place they were for bass drum, only pointing, sort of turned out. And as you flow forward, the hands come together and they rise. And as you flow back, they float down to where they started here. That's it. And see if you feel that whole upper body moving forward as one. And this central portion of your body really expanding on the way forward and contracting on the way back. I think this is number 7. We're going to call it 6. And then just stand up on that rear leg and float down. Really nice. I'm going to do the other side from the side. So this is me not mirroring you. Go ahead and let all the weight float down into your left leg, and then just extend your empty right knee. Palms come up here. Here we go. Good. Got a little unevenness in my floor here, so I moved myself so I wouldn't be standing on a ledge. Feel your whole front leg empty, and then the knee lengthen, the toe pops up by itself. Feel the whole right leg empty, the knee expands, and then the heel leaves the ground by itself. Let's do 2 more. Nice. And we're going to rest. Nice. Let's do just a little nod to carry the ball to the side. This is normally where we would do it in the practice, but we did it in the chair, so I want to show it to you standing as well. The principles of movement are still exactly the same, even though we're going to be going side to side. There's only one little extra added in order to flow side to side as effortlessly and smoothly and continuously as possible. So feel your body resting. Just like always, I want you to let all the weight drop, kind of spiral down into your right leg. And then you're going to feel just this part of your body turn to the right as well. Eyes still on me, though. Remember, there's sort of a hole here where your shoulder used to be, so that's where your hands are going to go. Now let this hopefully empty left leg just sort of sneak out to the side, heel first. Good. And here we go. We're going to shift towards your left, and the hands are going to drop at the same time you begin to shift, and then you're just going to glide. Good. Until all of your weight is right over that filled up foot. Ah, there it is. And there it is again. Now, as your left leg fills up, this time I want you to stand up on it. That's it. And you just float right back to rest, right? It's like magic. And we're going to do it again. You're going to let all the weight drop down into your left leg, and then let this portion of your body turn to the left. And you might feel even more of your weight on your left leg now. The turning helps your body really settle into that leg. Up go your hands. Out goes the heel. If you look down, your feet are going to be in the same exact position they were a moment ago. They're just farther apart. And now here we're going to glide. Let your whole upper body come to rest right over your right foot and then over your left. Feel it turning a little bit at the very last minute. And turning again. Now, as your right leg fills up, just rise up on it. Nice. So that's how we do carry the ball to the side if you're standing. Let's go back and do 2 more forward back moves, and then we're going to do a whole bunch of side to side. So let all of the weight flow down into your right leg. Let your empty left leg extend, and the hands are going to come up here. We're going to do push-pull. Here we go. As you flow forward, so do your palms. As you flow back, so do your palms. You're letting especially what's going on in the midsection of your body push and pull the hands around for you. I guess that's why it's called push-pull. Let's do one more. And we're going to rest. Let me show you the other side from the side. All the weight in the left leg now, so the empty right leg can extend. Hands come up here to shoulder height. Nice. Just like in rocking motion, the hands keep going. They just change directions here and here. Last one. Oh, nice. Good. Let's do pulling in the energy. It's the last purely forward back move we do for a little bit. And let all the weight flow down into your right leg and then just extend your empty left knee. And the hands are going to be under the same platter they were on top of when we did around the platter. So here we go. Even imagine your fingertips are kind of running around that smooth underside of the platter. But this move also has a guided visualization that goes along with it. So just imagine energy from the most distant star flowing into your body through all 10 of your fingertips. Let's do one more here. Nice. And we'll do the other side with me mirroring you. So you're going to let all the weight flow into your left leg now. So your empty right leg can extend. Up go the hands again. Here we go. Feeling that energy pouring into your body. As your hands and fingers especially circle around the underside of that plate. Let's do one more. Nice. Okay, now we're going to do a number of moves that are all based on a particular movement pattern called pulling taffy. So I'm going to go over the regular pulling taffy movement pattern with you first. Again, we're starting from rest, and from here down, it's going to be very similar to carry the ball to the side. So you're going to let all the weight flow down into your right leg. You're going to let this middle portion of your body turn to the right. And you're going to feel the left shoulder kind of pop out in front. So that's a signal to the left arm to just cross your belly, almost like it's holding a tray of cookies, right about at belly button level. And the other hand is just going to sneak up on top of it. It's like a mirror image of the hand below. And then as your empty left heel sneaks out to the side, we're going to begin to shift. And that's what's going to pull these hands apart. And just stand up on that filled up left leg and come back to rest. That's it. Let's do 2 more sets like that. Just do what you see me doing. It's going to be more than good enough Tai Chi Cha. Because perfect is overrated. And that's why we call it Tai Chi Cha practice. Feel the top hand grounding. It's almost like the heel of the hand goes down first. Let's do one more set. Feel this underhand just moving to the side like you're passing that tray of cookies. That's it. And come back to rest. Now let's do the first variation of that move. We call it anchor taffy because it's one of only 2 Tai Chi Cha moves in which the rear heel stays anchored to the ground. So it's just like regular pulling taffy, only first we're going to flow forward. So since your belly button is turned, so is this front toe. It's going to keep you sort of facing a little bit sideways as you flow forward. Here we go. Forward and right back. And pull taffy to the side, just like you already know how to do. Flow forward with sort of a pigeon-toed front foot and a rear heel anchor to the ground. Pull taffy back to your right. Let's do one more set just like that. Nice. Feel your body at rest. Nice. The second variation we often just call wrist circles taffy. I'm just going to show you the wrist circles portion. Here we are resting, and we just let the weight drop down and back into the heels, and then as we come towards the front of the feet, we at the very last minute lengthen the knees. And the fingertips are going to mimic exactly what's going on in the upper body. It drops down and moves back. It moves forward and rises up. Just feel the connection between the fingertips and what's happening, especially in the middle portion of your body. Let's do one more like that. Nice. All right, so we're going to integrate that with pulling taffy. Here's how. 2 wrist circles. 1, 2. And as you begin to do a third, you just sort of flow over to your right and pull taffy to your left. Nice. Let's do it again that way. Headed back again. 1, 2. And as you begin to do a third wrist circle, you pull taffy back to your right. Let's do one more set like that. Good. Feel your body coming back to rest. Good. We're going to do the third variation of pulling taffy, and many people just call it perpetual motion taffy because it's just like pulling taffy, only it's perpetual. You don't pause on one side and then go back and pause on the other. So let's just do it that way. Okay, you ready? Here we go. We're just waiting till, just like in carry the ball to the side, the weight of your entire upper body is going to come to rest right over that filled up right foot. And it's going to cause your left foot to kind of just levitate for a moment. It's very easy. Let's do one more set here. We normally do 9 sets. I think I did 9. Let's call this the end of the 9th set. Nice. Good. The next move we're going to do is called working the pulley. I think it would be helpful to do just a portion of it in the chair. Okay? I'm going to do it sideways for you, actually. So, and this, by the way, is the only movement that's a combination of side to side and forward back. But in the chair, it's going to feel purely like a side to side move. All right, so here we are resting. And for argument's sake, just put your left foot a little bit out. And that way you'll know the left hand is going to go up to the shoulder. Whichever foot is out there when you do the move in standing is the hand that starts here. This hand's just going to turn over. And kind of notice how the bottom of your forearm is parallel with your leg here. Because whichever arm is moving back is always going to be in this position, and whichever arm is moving forward is always going to be in this position. So now all I want you to do is let the midsection of your body, the balloon string part, just turn from side to side. And if you have to get a little closer to the front of your chair in order for the back not to interrupt that movement, go ahead and do that. So here we go. We're just letting the midsection turn sort of towards whichever elbow is attached to the bottom arm. And when you go about as far as your midsection wants to go without any effort, you're just going to bring the front hand down and just circle the back hand up. Let's do the other side. And just bring the front hand down and circle the back hand up. Now let's let it flow. Because remember, our goal is always to move as softly and smoothly and continuously and effortlessly as possible. It's a little bit like swimming. Let's do one more. And as we come back to the middle, we're going to just rest. I'm going to do that same move from the front. I had to move a little bit away from my wall because otherwise I'm going to whack my knuckles on the wall. And I remember I'm mirroring you, so you're going to let your right foot move out there a little bit this time. And here comes the right hand right up to the shoulder. Left palm just turns over. And again, remember, the middle portion of your body always likes to turn towards the elbow that's attached to the down arm. So here we go. Let it flow. Let's do 6 on this side too. And see how the hand is sort of tracking out over the knee? On both sides, right? We call this working the pulley because it's kind of like your fingers are running around 2 old-fashioned clotheslines. There's the pulley in the front and the pulley in the back. Let's do one more. And when you come back to the middle, you're just going to rest. So let's do it standing if you like. If you don't want to do it standing, just do it exactly the way I just showed you. And so we're going to integrate what we just did with the forward back weight shift that we already know how to do. So here's what it looks like from the side. Build up right leg, empty left leg and foot, left hand comes up to the shoulder, right palm turns over. And just focus on that midsection of your body flowing from side to side. The weight shift you already know how to do without even thinking about, right? Can you feel how what's going on in the arms is exactly the same as what you just did? Except because your feet are further apart, your hands are going to flow a little farther away from your body. Let's do one more. And as you flow back to the midsection, you're going to rest. Good. Awesome. Let's do the other side. Good. Now here's another thing though that's very interesting about this move. If you're really letting that middle portion of your body turn from side to side, you're going to feel your front toe want to kind of pivot out a little bit right there. and your rear heel want to kind of pivot in. If you feel that, let it happen. You don't want to pin things down that want to wiggle. If you don't feel it, you might not be letting that midsection of your body turn. So try it. Let's do one more. Nice. All right. Now we're going to do 2 movements in a row that are really the same up and down movement pattern that you learned when you were doing wrist circles tappy. The first one is sort of a dual movement. We call it light at the top of the head, light at the temple. So let's start with the first portion, light at the top of the head. Scoop up some chi, let your hands flow all the way up to the very top of your head. And here we go. Shift towards the back of your feet. Shift to the front and lengthen the knees. Once more. Good. Now let your palms rotate. You're going to let the palms rotate by each other, and you're going to pull the energy up and out of the crown of your head for about 6 seconds, and then hold them steady right over your head. Palms facing each other for an equal length of time. And then shift towards the back of your feet, towards the front, and lengthen the knees. And the hands separate when you expand. Here they're going to circle. Going to fold the energy in on yourself. And let's do the second portion of the move. Hands come up to your temples. Mixing forward. Hold. And do 3 sinking and risings. On the third one, the hands are going to circle. Fold the energy in. Feel your body resting. Next move is joyous breath. We're going to step out a little bit with your left leg. We're going to sink down, expelling all the air out of your lungs with a special breath. It's sort of like this, but your lips are going to be closed. You're going to hear it and feel it more in the back of your throat than anyone would if they were standing next to you. Here we go. Expand, rise up, come to the front of your feet, let the hands come up, turn them over, and we're going to do one more big exhalation, but in 4 sections. Let's do that again 2 more times. One more. And just bring your left foot back to your right. And we're just going to touch on 2 last moves. This next one, passing clouds, is exactly like carry the ball to the side, only the hands are going to move independently. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. So we're going to begin by letting all the weight shift and drift into your left leg and letting that midsection of your body turn to the left. Out goes your empty right heel. Here we go. Let's do 1 rotation with the left hand, and then the right hand's going to come in at the bottom. We normally do 9 sets of these, but we'll do 6. Here's our last one. And 6 healing sounds. It's really like a combination of all the moves. Don't worry about the sounds. I'll do them for you. Okay, we're going to begin by going forward with the left hand on the left foot. and a sound ho. You can go forward again with both hands and a sound hu. We're going to flow to the side with the sound su. Now right hand, right foot coming forward with a sh. Sh. We'll come back to the middle. Both hands, she. She. We're going to flow to the right with a chui. Chui. Let's do one more set like that. Now we're just going to flow continuously from side to side. Last one. And rest. Cosmic consciousness pose. I'm going to turn around because we only do this on one side and I don't like to mirror it. So feel your body at rest. Just pick your left heel up and rotate a little bit. Drop it down on your right ankle so you really haven't shifted your weight. Let your arms rise up so your forearms are about the height of your shoulders. And you're going to let your fingertips overlap. Left set of fingers closer to your body than the right. And just really relax here. And then let your whole body flow back to rest. Now, while you're in this rest position, if you feel comfortable doing so, go ahead and close your eyes. I'm just going to flip the switch on my noise canceling software so you can hear my bell. Okay. Just pick a spot somewhere inside your body, either at or beneath belly button level, to focus your attention on. And we're going to begin by calling the bell once again. Here we go. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the rest of us. And I'm going to bring my, not my chair, my ball, a little closer up to the front here. Let's change cameras real fast. And I want to just go ahead and share my website. I should have had that up, but I didn't. Here we go. This is me sharing my website. Because if you want to learn more about Tai Chi Cha, the best place to do so, I think, anywhere around here, is to go to my site. So when you're there at Sculpt Your Life is the name of my company, but if you look up in the left-hand portion of your screen there, you're going to see that the spelling of my domain name is a little bit different than what you might expect. I had to kind of play with it 20 years ago when I purchased it, to be honest with you. But even if you just Google the word Sculpt Your Life and spell it any way you want, this is the site that's going to come up. And once you're there, you're going to see all these tabs. They all have little drop downs right here. Just click on Moving Meditation, and you're going to automatically go to a really great page. It talks all about Tai Chi Cha. Lots of videos too. Yeah, just press the videos page, and all the little movements I showed you today are going to pop up in individual chapters. But if you go down to about the middle of the page, You're also going to see buttons for a complete silent mirrored standing practice and a seated one too. So let me quit my share. Again, so grateful for having had the opportunity to be with you again today. My name is Jessica Lewis. The name of my company is Sculpt Your Life. It's all about high quality movement, nutrition, and relaxation, which may be the key to your health, believe it or not. You can move and eat the ways I tell you to till you turn blue in the face. But if you're stressed out, or if you're dealing with something that's really scary and you don't find a way to offload that stress, your health is still going to pay the price. But anyway, come on back and see us again. We're live every week at the Cancer Support Community in Newcastle County, Delaware, but we're also on the live stream every second and fourth Wednesdays too. And here is our fabulous leader, Erica. So have a great day.